Hey, listen, if you're struggling to close sales, there's a good chance that one, you're not making any money, but two, you might be making one of these 3 or 4 mistakes that we're about to go over today.
Look, insurance sucks. I'll just make it suck less.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Brad Hannon. You know the drill. We created this channel specifically for health, life, Medicare, all agents really, but specialized in health insurance, help you polish your skills, close more sales, and ultimately
show me the money!
Make more money. And today we're talking about 3 or 4 mistakes that will definitely, there's more than 3 or 4. I came up with 4. I may come up with more as we go along, but I can tell you that these are probably the most common mistakes that you might be making in the sales process that's leading you to not close the sale. Listen, the truth is we are not going to close everybody. But what I want you to do real quick is, if I've helped you close a sale through some content on the channel, through some video, through some coaching call, whatever it might be, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button. You know, we're growing this channel. We're doing it 100% organically. We've never ran any kind of paid promotions. We've never really even done a whole lot of advertising, just good content to help agents like yourself, agents like my agents, agents like me even. This is a good refresher for me all the time. This channel keeps me sharp. We're doing it because we love to see people win. So here we go. Without further ado, one of the biggest reasons why I see people not closing sales is they've got the wrong product, right? And this really pertains to anything. It doesn't matter whether you're talking health insurance, life insurance, Medicare. You know, if you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, there's a good chance that may be the reason you're not closing the sale. There are certain people who just don't want to be pushed or don't want to be told that they can't have this or that. They want the copay. They want the PPO network, or they want the wellness coverage 100%. They want their birth control. Even though it's $4, they want their insurance to cover it, right? So you may have the wrong product, which goes back to another video that we did, and it's in the fact finding, right? You've got to make sure that you uncover all the needs, right? So in your needs analysis, in your fact finding, in your discovery, whatever you want to call it, you've got to make sure that you drill down on what's important to the client, because if you place the wrong product, or if you pitch the wrong product, there's a good likelihood you're not going to close it. And even worse, you do close it and they cancel a month or 2 later because you had them, again, in the wrong product. So identifying the right product is super important. That's why for me, when I took the leap of going away from being a captive agent, right, where I've got 1 or 2 products, only 1 or 2 products, and that's all I can sell. And no matter who you talk to, no matter what someone's going to tell you about, well, we don't try to sell it to everybody. We know our market. Well, I mean, the likelihood is if it's Thursday and you're having a slow week and you're talking to somebody that maybe is on the fence and not a good fit for your product, but you're a captive agent, you might try to push that person into a product that doesn't fit their needs. And that's just the reality of human nature, right? So we all do it. We're all guilty of it. I'm not saying that you are not a good person and that you're not serving your client if you're doing a little bit of that, but as a captive agent, it does become tough. So, the wrong product could certainly be an issue. Number 2, confused, right? The client is confused, right? Nobody is making a decision when they are confused, right? Our goal as salespeople, I always say, is to take people from confusion to certainty, right? Confusion to certainty. It's hard to get somebody to certainty, especially when you're talking about insurance, but at least if you eliminate most of that confusion, right? I talked to somebody the other day. Actually, I think I said this in another video recently. He said something about, yeah, I just, sure, works for me. I just don't understand this insurance stuff. I said, yeah, me neither. I'm reading from a script. Just a little light humor. But the reality is not everybody, when it pertains to their health insurance, wants to know every single detail. Some do. Right? Some more than likely don't need to know every detail. They just need to know worst case scenarios. And that's your goal, is to eliminate whatever confusion, right? Confusion is a barrier from between you and the sale, right? So you want to eliminate as many of those barriers throughout that sales process as you can. Clear up any confusion, right? Somebody may say, why isn't my birth control covered? It was covered on my last plan. And that's okay to kind of drill into that. Well, what was your last plan? Okay, how much were you paying for it? Was that through your employer? Well, that's not an option anymore. So we're looking at all of these options. You've got option A over here, which is marketplace, and it covers this. So you've got option B, which doesn't cover your birth control. Which one do you want? That's again, the beauty of not being a captive agent is being able to share both sides. There's great opportunity right now on the ACA side. There's great opportunity still on the private side, right, in that healthy and wealthy. And there will continue to be great opportunity in both of those channels. So make sure you've got the right product. You're not creating additional confusion right? If somebody is a good fit for ACA, listen, that's not a real tough sale. These are the plans that the government recommends. These are the plans that are technically mandated by the government. Even though there's not a penalty, they're still mandated by the government. You've got 5 carriers on the marketplace, 6 carriers, depending on where you are, 4, 5, 6, whatever. We're going to go with one of these 30, 40 plans. Let's just narrow it down. It's an enrollment at that stage of the game. It's not necessarily a pitch or something to be oversold. That's where you're confusing people. You can either confuse people by sharing too much information, not the right information, not accurate information. But what I see most times, more times than not, when individuals are confused, it's you overshared, right? Because you think you've got to flex your insurance knowledge muscle and go through all 30 pages of that summary of benefits and every single last detail. And by the time you get done with them, they're like, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I've never walked in to buy a car and had them break down every single specification, right? Well, this car's got 495 horsepower, 337 foot-pounds of torque, this, that, the other. Unless I'm asking for it, unless I'm going in there like a car junkie and I'm like, hey man, listen, I want some, I got the need for speed, right? How much horsepower, how much torque, what does this have? Then they're going to answer my questions, but nobody's going to break out the spec page and say, here, let me just read you off these specifications real quick, like it's a list. Right? That's not what we do when we're selling insurance, right? We want to build rapport first and foremost, and then we want to kind of just eliminate each and every one of those barriers, which is confusion. Number 3, sometimes it's just bad timing, right? It is okay to not make a sale because the timing isn't right, and ultimately what you will do by not being overly pushy and not trying to close that sale, if the timing is not right. Like, listen, if somebody's plan ends 2 months from now and you're pitching them a product that you're selling for the 1st of next month and you didn't know that going into it, well, you've just got bad timing. Like don't ruin the sale. Prolong it another 30 days or 2 weeks till you can actually enroll that. Unless you're enrolling them in a plan, of course, where you have a 60-day window, then you can get it started on the start date that they need. Or maybe they can't afford it right now. Again, not a situation where we want to push somebody into a sale that they're later going to cancel. So bad timing. I just threw that one in there, last minute, because sometimes it is just not the right time, and that's okay. Okay. So you've got to still be able to kind of decipher whether this is actual qualified candidate, or this is somebody that's not qualified right now because the timing just doesn't make sense. And then the last one, guys, and this is, there's technically 2 more, but I tied the last 2 together. It's a lack of confidence, which leads to not assuming the sale. Right? So it's a lack of confidence, which leads to not actually assuming the sale. It leads to questions like, okay, great. So if you understood everything correct, would you like to enroll for July 1st, right? Would you like to enroll for August 1st? Right? You ask weird questions like that. Sorry, it's just weird. You ask weird questions like that, which really create yet another hurdle for that client to get to, because they're going through kind of an emotional situation. Their brain's saying, man, do I just need to put this off, or should I do this? Should I, is this the best plan? Have I heard all my options? Do I like this guy? Like, there's all of these, emotional responses going on in your client's head, and you're yet again having them make another decision, right? Decisions are tough, okay? Ask your wife where she wants to go to dinner. You get it, right? Ask your husband where he wants to go to dinner. Whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. Decision-making is tough. That's why a lot of people in business don't make it, right? I'm learning this. I've got to be better at making quick decisions, even if they're wrong, because I can always backtrack, right, and make the right decision once I figure out I made the wrong decision, as long as it's not like massive. But making a quick decision is important. And so if you're going into that close and not assuming the sale, it's because you lack confidence, right? There's only one reason. Either you don't know, okay, but now you know because I just told you. So if you now you know, the only reason you wouldn't be assuming the sale is because you may be a little less confident than you should be. Okay. My thing has always and will always be, if I feel, not if the client feels, right? I'm the professional. If I feel like I'm putting the client in a slightly better scenario, or the same coverage wise, but saving them a few bucks, again, slightly better. If I'm able to improve in one way, shape, or form the client's scenario, it's game over. I should absolutely close that sale. There's no reason why I shouldn't, unless the timing's wrong, I confuse the client, I'm pitching them the wrong product, which again could lead to confusion, or maybe I just lack confidence, and that's coming through to the client when I'm presenting with a lot of ums and uhs and not sures and just the feeling, right? Maybe you are an established insurance salesperson and you remember a time where you didn't have confidence, or maybe you're brand new and you're saying, yeah, I struggle with confidence. I don't know how to have more confidence. Use my tactic, right? Which has always been, if I know that I'm putting them in a slightly better spot, doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be drastic, right? I don't have to be saving them thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars. If I can save them a few bucks, or I can increase their coverage, or I can, whatever it might be, give them a larger network. If I can justify in my head, hey, I'm the professional, I believe this is a better position, I'm going to have confidence going into that close. So do not try to pitch the wrong product, confuse your client, push your client when the timing is not right. And lastly, make sure you have confidence to assume the sale, right? Don't ask questions like, would you like to buy? Or when can you sign up? Or would you like me to follow up with you? Or whatever, just assume the sale. And lastly, use my couple of just assumption closes, which is the middle initial or the effective date close. Great, Mrs. Jones, would you like to start this plan on the 15th or the 1st, right? Give option A or option B. Or, great, Mrs. Jones, do you have a middle initial you'd like to use for the application? Boom, you're done. You assume the close. You're good. Move forward until they stop you. And then even once they stop you, use my 3 A's, which we just posted a video recently. Agree, answer, and ask them a question back, or proceed through the application. Now you've closed the sale. Don't make these 3 or 4 or 5 mistakes. You'll make more money.
I'm a health insurance hustler. Bradley Hannon's the name. I'm here to teach these agents how to play the game. I'm a health insurance hustler. One thing you